The driving force, I think, is a combination of the desire to continue a policy of aggression around the world and destabilization, and at the same time, more limited means to do this. Not so much conventional forces as various kinds of intelligence operations. But what has happened is this. So far, the United States has had the CIA as a foreign intelligence and clandestine operations service, and next to that is the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is part of the Pentagon, and they have foreign military intelligence spying on the military capabilities of other countries. Now, what has been added somehow in between them is something called the Defense Clandestine Service. And the idea with this is it's supposed to provide strategic military intelligence, global, medium to longer term, not so much focused on tactical, not so much focused on what's going to happen next in Iraq or what's going to happen next with Afghanistan, but something on a higher level. And you can see where all of this is leading. It's being done under the auspices of Secretary of Defense Panetta, who is now the head of the Pentagon. He was previously the head of the CIA. And the head of the CIA, General Petraeus, is somebody who spent his entire career as a general in the Pentagon. So you can see that these are somehow coming closer together. The person who is most responsible for the new change is somebody called Michael Vickers, who is currently Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence. So he's a civilian, but he runs military intelligence, and that's a huge part of the intelligence budget is what goes through the Pentagon. Now, if you look at Vickers, what is his pedigree? He is somebody who, well, in blunt terms, he's one of the founders of al-Qaeda. He's one of the people who ran the U.S. guerrilla program of training Arab and Islamic fighters in Afghanistan to fight against the Soviets in the 1980s. So that's Michael Vickers. A profile of Vickers in the Washington Post back in 2007 says, he thinks like a gangster. All right, so Michael Vickers thinks like a gangster. What might the next step be? First is that he's going to take 15% of the Defense Intelligence Agency and put that into the Defense Clandestine Services. And at that point, it becomes anybody's guess. It's partly, I think, intelligence gathering, but as the name suggests, it's also operations. It's also strategic destabilizations and other actions. So Vickers also has a background in special operations. He's from the CIA originally and special operations. So I would expect this to be active. In other words, not just finding out secrets, but also carrying out clandestine operations. And then with that, we get into this area of false flag operations, what most people would understand as terrorism. And it seems to me that that is part, at least, of the portfolio that this new operation is being given. It's supposed to be, according to what they say, several hundred agents at the beginning and then double in size very soon. So I'm sure it'll get bigger and bigger. One area we might look at for this is Afghanistan. The CIA plan for Afghanistan is known as the Divine Plan, and the idea there is to remove a large amount of the conventional military, the infantry and all the logistics, dispense with that and go to something which is more based on special forces, drones, air attacks, and things like that. That might be something that this new agency would somehow be connected with. But I think other countries have to worry about this. The Middle East obviously is a big target, but we've also got the Obama administration announcing that they're shifting their strategic thrust towards Asia, which for them I guess means East Asia. So places like China or indeed India or others would have to be, I think, concerned about this new development.